MOSPEADA is dangerously close to being finished. Last time we finished the feet, and they look fantastic. I love how these stupid shoes came out. Chest armor is done. Forearms are done. These belt and boots. Well, yeah, the rest of the boots, I should say, which I have printed out. Let's come in closer. Let's get a little more comfortable, and I'll show you where we're at. I think I need a taller table, something I can stand at. That's later on down the road. We're on to the legs, and the legs are a little more complicated. I initially designed these two pieces, the knee pad and there we go, and the cuff, or the calf. I don't even know what to call this thing. But I relied almost solely, you can set these down because they're wrong, almost solely on this 3D software. Armorsmith, I think is what it's called. And it's a great software. And it's supposed to take all your measurements and scale everything, and it didn't. It didn't. It made my calves or my legs are way longer in the model than in reality. And once I printed the knee cup, the knee pad, I really should have measured and double checked everything, and I didn't. So that's all on me. Took 3 days to reprint, but then I came out with these, and I like these so much better. Right? This is the heel block, which goes in like that. Look at that. That is a cool looking piece. The knee, let's see if I can try and set this up at all. Goes on top, like that, right? So the problem with the boots is in the show, they expand when he goes from just the base armor to the full Cyclone. Kind of. They did it once, and then it was just being expanded the rest of the time. So that's what we're going with. I've got both knees done, except this knee. The print kind of failed, so I'm going to have to reprint this little chunk, cut that off and put it on. And then there's the shin armor. Let me show you the shin armor. Shin armor is pretty simple. It's just a little plate. So when it's all together, let's give us a little more room real quick. So what it's supposed to do, we'll profile. This right about there. And this goes right about here. And then the knee rests right on top. Right? It's a cool looking boot. We're going to use a lot of EVA foam to make everything stand where it's supposed to be. There's no way I can make this in one piece and have everything be where it needs to be. I'm very happy with these. So this went from a 3-day print to a 1.5-day print. And they're not that much different. But the geometry is kind of completely different. The ridge where the calf cap meets the back panel actually has a ridge now. Again, that just kind of falls into the whole, I think I have to print this whole thing twice to be happy with it state. These I've printed once and I love. And these I printed once and I love. And that's about it. Everything else I've had to do at least twice. But we're at sanding. The other one of these is currently printing. Hopefully it'll be done shortly. But like I said, everything gets slightly sanded. And then we're going to do Bondo, the glazing putty, and acetone like we have been doing. I kind of like how that looks. I have to wear a respirator, so I can't really talk to the camera, and it's kind of lonely, you know? Just quiet, stuck with my own thoughts. My goal for this one is to get the boots done, but not together. Probably gonna have a couple of hot glue a couple quick pieces on so we can get a rough idea of where it goes. Next one, we'll probably do the finishing touches of it, but I'm hoping to get all of the boots done. Just like that, hours worth of sanding in seconds. Next step is to coat everything in glazing putty and acetone. Except for these. Neither of these really printed very well. It's kind of, you know, it was printed like this, and this part just didn't, on both of them, didn't work very well. So I'm going to just lob those off, reprint them, and put them back on. I have to wait for my printer to finish, so these are going to wait till morning. Before we get started, I have a new addition to my shop. I picked up a large silicone mat that I can just lay out when I do stupid stuff like resin or glazing putty and acetone. Little glazing putty, a lot of acetone seems to be the combination. I'll pull you in so you get a closer look at what I'm doing, and then we'll take it from there. Finished printing. But what I was saying about the things, right? Look at these. Look at that. This side. Look at that. That's just a rat's nest. So I went in. I cut the little cups off. And I printed them so I can just hit these on the bandsaw and then glue these in place. I've already done to this one. It's okay, but these corners are way sharper now. And for a non-functional knee pad, this is just a decorative piece, it's fine. Knee pads still need work, and the shin plates need a little more work. But the calves and the heels, I think, are completely ready for primer. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to prime these two pieces. Let them do their thing. Everything's been primed. Most of the stuff's on cans, being held up. You get both sides. Next thing we're going to do is combine the two back halves of this piece, which is kind of the calf piece, and then this piece, which is kind of the heel piece. Sand some things off. We're going to glue it together. Then we're going to paint everything. Hopefully we're done by tonight so I can clear it in the morning. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. So I designed these to all snap together. Kind of. It's a snug fit. And there's just a hair of a reveal there. So I'm going to sand this back a little bit because I just made a score. And then I want to sand the inside here so I have fresh plastic to fresh plastic. Should just take me a couple of seconds. In fact, we'll do it right here. I'm going to glue one side, and I'm going to glue the other, and clamp it in between. Most of my time now is just waiting for glue to dry. I'll let that cure for just a little bit. Matter of fact, I should grab a strap clamp, but that's crazy. Just a little wider than it needs to be. It's an FDM print. It's never going to be perfect. And I'm sure there are people out there who can print everything exact. I'm not one of them. I'm good. So I think I'm good. Just not that good. So I'm just going to hold this for a while, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. We'll pick this back up in a second. Put clamps on it. Let it dry for like, or cure for like an hour. We'll see what happens. Next, we're painting the knee and the shins. So basically we're painting the front half while the back half dries. Some printer paper. I'm just using it to help mask everything off. So I'm just going to lay it, put down a piece of tape, go from there. You can't see very well from there. Let's pull you over even more. And now everything gets cleared. It's all ready to go. Everything gets cleared. And I'm using Rust-Oleum Custom Automotive Clear. All of these pieces join together kind of weird. The knee floats like right here, right? And then the front shin part goes in between. So what I want to do, since we're just kind of messing around right now, is I'm going to cut a bunch of foam and glue everything in place because I need to make sure everything is right. We will deal with everything else later. Right now I just want to get stuff in place. And to that end, I am just going to hot glue most of this stuff together. I don't think this is going to be very difficult, but you know. So I thought about this whole project so far. We're almost 2 months in. Probably over 2 months, but you know. This is just a temporary thing. Unless it works absolutely perfect, then you know. I meant to do it the whole time. So I am just gluing strips on to hold this in place. There's nothing real fancy about what I'm doing. I'm just kind of eyeballing the spacing I want. In the anime, the legs change more than anything else. They're constantly just different this, different that. There is no easy way to do this, and no easy way to show you what I'm doing. Hey, it is what it is, right? I knew this job would be dangerous when we went into it. Alright, I'm going to pull you in so you can see what I just did. Or I'll just bring it out to you, whichever. So, we have a couple pieces of foam that are just kind of glued in right now. Works way better than it should. Works way better than it has any right to. This one's just going to go like right there. I'm just going to do the same thing. Hot glue and hot glue. See what we get. I would normally skip this step, but I figure if there's no reveal, people are revolting on me. The last thing I need is revolting viewers. My initial intent was to foam this whole thing just so it's padded. Probably doesn't need it. There we go. Look at that. And that is going to rest over this boot. Like that. I'm going to put some foam right along this bottom, just so these two pieces don't rub. Just going to do the same thing with the other one to get this. Again, this. Look at this thing. Look at that. Oh my goodness, do I love this stupid thing. I love this so very much. Alright, do the other one, and we'll pick this back up at the end. This is what I need to do. May not be the most stylish thing. Should keep my pants down while I'm putting these boots on. So I try to make all of my costumes helperless so I can put them on my own. Doesn't always work, but I try. Well, that's so much better. There we go. It's not terrible. I can walk in them. They don't feel like the worst thing I've ever worn. And like I said, right here is the only part that's a little too tight. I may end up reprinting them. Not anytime soon. Oh my, the goodness. I love these things. I didn't expect them to stand upright like that. The boots are just tall enough that holds everything in place, but not so tall that I'm going to leave it like that because they come down when I'm storing it. But I mean, look at this thing. This is fantastic. I love how this looks. I'm not happy with the knee pads. I may end up reprinting them. And if I do, I'm going to put a split right here print them on 2 separate ways, and then take this piece off and these little nubbins off. And print them separately and attach them. That would have been the right way to do it. I was in a rush. I wanted this. I wanted this moment right here where I'm like, I love these boots. That's what I wanted. So I rushed a little bit. They're a little too tight, right at the back of the knee. On the original ones, these guys, where they were solid, that would never have worked. I'm so glad I redid these. But this seems like the project to do it twice, so who am I to argue? Look at these things. The whole armor, right? We've finally hit a point where I'm like, that's what I'm going for. The only thing left on the base armor, the belts, and then the thigh armor. I'm not sure what I'm doing about the thigh armor. The thigh armor may not be a thing, just because, you know. Sorry, there. Camera was focusing on weird areas. But I mean, look at this. I'm happy. I love this armor. It's coming along. Next week we're doing the belt. We're going to finish the boots and do the belt. The belt's mostly printed. Belt's going to be weird. I'm taking a couple of pages off of Stormtroopers on that, so this should be interesting. But, man, this is my jam. This is the essence of my jam, right? This is everything I love. And if this gets you a little, you know, a little excited, maybe think about sticking around. Thanks for making it to the end. I appreciate that. Hope I see you next time.